The cars.
Future.
In the future, it'll all just be LEDs on the planes.
Yeah.
What was that? What happened?
That light.
Your new light went
What
out.
happens to... Why? Is what I want to know.
Is it plugged into some shit? Some bullshit?
Maybe that's what turned off. Why is it that when we're recording, lights just turn off? What's going on with that? Is your phone plugged into this?
Yeah. My phone's not charging.
Nothing's happening. It's shut off. The entire power strip is dead.
The power strip is...
I think that power strip just died.
God damn it.
Why do all of my fucking 30-year-old electronics keep dying on me?
Well, this doesn't need to charge necessarily, so...
Unholy fucker of mothers.
It's okay, we don't need this shit. We don't even need that light. We're not... It's...
No, I'm turning it back on.
Forrest, come record the show.
What? I'm gonna, but I'm getting another one of these power things. The power strips. The things that strip the power out of the whatever and then put it somewhere else.
I know what it is. Better than that. Your explanation of what a power strip is fucking infuriating. I hate this show.
Yeah, let's stop doing it. No. Let's do this episode and then maybe like 14 more episodes and then we'll quit.
Fuck you, man.
Ugh.
That fucking one about the scared Syrian boy is coming more and more true, man. He's holding me hostage. No.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell
then
him.
we won't make as much money.
Yeah, we
make
will.
Any money.
We'll make. Yeah, that's why we'll make the same amount.
No matter what people think of this show.
And it's fine.
Oh.
So also, we'll just keep making this show, and also we'll do all that other shit we do to stay alive fucking 80 hours a week. How about we do 300? Because when you get to 300, you can say, this is our 300th episode. Now we can say anything on the air.
That's the only time you can say that.
No, from then on.
No. You can say it's our 300th episode whenever after that, just every time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you don't get to 300 episodes and if you haven't succeeded by then as a podcast, I think you die. I think something
What
kills
if we
you.
get to our 300th episode and we're still shitty?
No, we will be.
What if nothing changes?
No, we will be.
What if it's exactly
It's not about improving, Forrest. It's about finding like millions of people who like garbage.
That is precisely the business plan. That is exactly the plan for this.
I've been trying to tell people
about
about my internet like plan to like be to like figure out how to make the internet work for me and like not have to do a normal job anymore, and they all think it's dumb.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're like, yeah, but there's not. Think about how many other people are doing things, and I'm like, I am. You just gotta find a way to be louder. I guess. I don't know, man. Or maybe there'll just be a bunch of fucking archaic recordings of me spread all over the internet long after I die, and they'll have absolutely no value to anyone.
And your great grandchildren will find them by like it'll be like one of those like who do you think you are type shows, like do genealogy, and like we found your great grandfather Ben Hendricks, and they play this and they're like maybe we leave this memory buried. Maybe we don't talk about this one. May have some apologizing to do now. Oh. Let's talk about the internet and everything else that we were going to talk about. But first...
What does that even mean?
It's the intro.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to I'm Not Comfortable With This, the podcast where you...
What?
That's where I'm putting it. That's where I'm putting it right there. That's great. That's a perfect spot for it.
It doesn't even mean anything.
The people who come in late, the people who are just now watching it, hear you saying I'm Ben, and they don't know what's going on. They hear me make we got all these inside jokes that we only got with like the peeps that have been here since like the first episode.
Well, that's how you build
continuity.
Millions of people who want to watch garbage.
Tune in next week for whatever the hell this becomes.
It's honestly, it's like building a cult. you give people things to latch onto. So, like, instead of, like, dumb words like subversive person or whatever, like, we use fun words like whatever the fuck we were just talking about.
Like, the
short-term memory loss.
Yeah. We use fun words like,
You have to give your audience something to latch onto.
The sign-on bonuses are just one more stitch in the yoke the capitalist swine hitched to the worker.
That's a whole series of buzzwords, though. I'm talking about little things that people can just. And I think what are you saying?
I'm talking about anti-capitalism. I don't know.
Are you saying we gotta unionize the workers?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing it does don't buy into sign-on bonuses because they're just numbers that they throw at you to get you in the door.
No, but buy into our buzzword, our cult like fucking
if we wanted to start a cult, we'd be good at it because we're
no. For the podcast, we need to treat it as such.
Treat the podcast like a cult?
Not while the mic is on.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, you fucked up. I mean, like, we're not supposed to tell them. No, but like that's why you do that. Like, you know, like the people love the show.
The people who are gonna be the best at being in a cult can hear you say this is a cult, and they'll be like, "Dope." You know what I mean?
No,
because then if you
you gotta make them think we're going to Mercury or whatever, and then
we're destroying Mercury, and that's
it doesn't matter what the fuck. Yeah, it's
plan.
very real. That's right. Keep saying that.
No, that is, and then like the other thing, if we're doing a cult on the podcast, that's a whole lot. Then we got to find some other.
No. I'm saying you treat your audience like
we're gonna really burn couches, and that's why it's the logo or whatever.
Marketing is all about building a community, and building a community is kind of like building a cult. Is what I'm saying.
Cult community?
It's not derogatory.
No.
It's like a fandom. We have way less harsh words for things like what we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
But in the vein of I'm not comfortable with this, it is interesting to think that like almost anybody can start a cult.
Yeah. Well, not even with this. All you need is you gotta have a
preacher's cadence,
some sort of message about something. A preacher's cadence.
You know what I mean, though.
You got us.
They lull you into it.
We're both devilishly handsome young gentlemen.
They lull you into a sense of.
We're both ugly and 30.
Fuckery. Yeah, we're 30 as fuck. But anyway,
I'm about to be, and I can't handle it. But really though, like the whole thing, man, it's just like it'd be easy. It'd be easy because all you got to do is you get some sort of a plan to do anything, to do anything, and then you point at somebody else and say those are the people that are stopping us from doing the thing. Doesn't matter how it makes sense or if it makes sense or whatever, and then you tell everybody who questions it that or if anybody questions you. You tell everybody else that those people are in line with the other people that are stopping you from doing the thing. It's that easy.
Here's an example.
Yeah.
The people who aren't subscribed to the podcast.
Yes.
Are in fact trying to hurt me.
They're trying to shut down the podcast.
They're trying to shut down the podcast.
They're trying to shut it down.
Anybody you know who isn't subscribed to the podcast
is the enemy of the podcast and of your own freedom to listen to this podcast, because with them
they
not
hate
being
that you listen to it.
That's they talk about it, I bet. And the thing is that we can be almost sure by not subscribing to this podcast, they're not boosting the algorithm, which means it's harder for you and the people that you care about to hear the podcast. And so really what it is it is an action of hate to hate you, hate us, hate everyone. To not subscribe to the podcast.
They probably hate God too, because God told me.
But more importantly, He
wants the podcast to succeed.
But more importantly, they hate us
because we are the gods. There is no God,
and also there's no God.
Actually, the podcast is God.
The podcast is God.
I talked to the podcast.
We're the gods
today.
of the podcast.
This is stupid.
No, it's great.
It is great, but we're gonna get stupid because we've reached the apex of this fucking thing.
however many episodes in, now we're worried about getting stupid. You're right. We should be careful.
I hate this show. People love the show. Well, you looked over the topic list, and the only thing I know is that, like, I've been really fucking nostalgic lately, and I've been having a really bad time.
Yeah.
And we have family crises constantly happening on a daily fucking basis, and we're trying to make sure everybody's taken care of regarding that.
My fucking world is full of babies who are too young to be born, and old people who are too old to die, and none of them
I think you were saying
will go to bed!
Something about that earlier. I think you were saying that you had a lot going on.
Yeah, well, I've got to go to a funeral, and I've also got, a funeral.
Oh, no.
And I've got several papers that I'm writing right now.
Somebody dead.
But that happens all the time. And
well,
then I've got...
I hope you're feeling okay about it.
I'm great. I've never been better.
I love you.
Thanks, man.
You fucking mess of a person.
I've got papers to write.
Super happy.
I've got the new Reacteria that I'm working on right now, and there's a major hold up with that, but it's a really good thing.
Yeah, you said we'll talk about it in private.
Yeah.
You guys don't get to know yet about the super
But you will, and you're
news.
going to love it. And, like, it's going to make all of YouTube better. Really just my channel, but by extension, all of YouTube.
I was just fucking, man.
And then we've got another video project that I'm working on that I also can't talk about that's a really awesome big deal that I'm very excited about, that we're going to make a lot of lives better with. Hopefully we're going to make some real change. I got 80, I'm spinning like 80 different plates at this moment, and I'm really tired, and I just replaced all the fucking power outlets in half of my house.
Well,
repainted.
That might be why your shit's fucking failing.
I'm just doing everything at once.
It's like I'm doing electrical work in my house, and the fucking power bars keep going out.
Yeah, I didn't replace the ones in here, and that's why that probably broke right before the episode. Also, that's a very old power strip. It just happens to be the one with the longest cord. Man, the whole thing is, I'm trying to update the place where I live and get it into the 21st century, because this house was shitty 20 years before I moved into it, yo. And now, career and also grad school and everything's going on. And you're busy. You were telling me all about it. I mean, you got.
I just work a lot. It's holiday season, and you fuckers like to shop, so you all come. No.
Go to Ben's job and buy whatever Ben sells.
Everything you need for Christmas.
And only Christmas.
Only Christmas. Or birthdays.
So what have you been nostalgic about?
Just fucking dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. I just want to be young again. It's bullshit. I don't really, because young is confusion and old is, I'm fine with this. So, like, but fucking, it's just dumb shit. Like, well, like, okay, on the drive over here, for instance, like, there were like 3, like, kids, like, fucking 15-something-year-old kids, like, walking.
Yeah.
Through the neighborhood. It's the same neighborhood that we used to fucking walk around in.
Yeah.
One of many in this area, but, like, you know, like, it's just stupid shit like that where you're just man, I remember fucking...
I wish I could just fuck around as a 15-year-old again, yeah.
Yeah, just for 5 minutes.
And what sucks about it is that, like,
I'm
honestly,
not mad at him, I'm just saying it sucks for me.
Yeah. Well, like, the whole thing is that, like, honestly, if I could go back and be, like, 15, 16 again...
I'd probably just be stupid.
I'd be working.
That's true. I'd just be sticking money in a savings account.
Yeah,
like
my
crazy.
biggest thing is that, like, I wish I had been working harder then. But I'm glad I enjoyed my youth. I'm glad I got to be stupid. I'm glad I got to do all that shit. But, like, now, given the opportunity just to be recklessly dumb, I wouldn't do it. I miss the luxury of not knowing how stupid it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and all the free time.
Yeah, free time was nice. But honestly, I had exactly as much time then as I do now. It's just now I'm smarter, and so I use my time more wisely. But I also, that 98% of the time entails trying to also then continue to get smarter. You know?
Usually, like, I don't even... Yeah, like, I'm doing something along those lines, and I can't even think of the last time I played, like, Fish Listening to Radio.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah, but you can't play that as an adult and not feel like you're fucking up.
Right.
Yeah, like, you can't.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, that
is a teenager's video game.
I want to just kind of kick it and
adults
fucking...
play Animal Crossing.
I haven't played video games in a little while. Like I was talking about, I think on the last episode, I don't know if I had it in the actual final edit or not, but like I mentioned, like I've been playing more computer games. It is.
You said I've been playing games more. Use some dumb way to say it.
Yeah, but like
some fucking asshole.
But like I'm not playing for like 17 hours at a time anymore, like I was.
No, yeah, there's no way.
But it's like I can
How
sit
the
down
fuck
like
would
squeeze in a little
you?
bit here. Yeah.
How would you?
Yeah,
I
so
can't
like,
think of playing. Like I guess like on Christmas Day, I kind of spend a lot of time on the Xbox. But you gotta open presents first.
Right. I've also, and like the thing is, I hoard books. Like I own 1 million books, and I'll read like 3 lines or a chapter out of this one to that one. I just move on to the next one because I got other shit to do. And like I dream of the day when I can just sit there and read all day. But I was thinking about this today. Every time I've had like a little bit of time off, I don't read. I sit around and I do dick. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm just an asshole then. I guess I'm just a fraud. But then I realized, no, I'm exhausted. And when I have free time, I don't do anything because that's the first time I've had free time in months.
Yeah.
And so I use that time to sit there and do nothing.
Which is beautiful.
Until I feel like a big enough piece of shit that I get up and do something. And that's usually about the time that the next project starts for me. You know what I mean?
I get that really bad, like, nighttime disassociation where, like, I come home from work and, like, my brain won't shut off.
Yeah.
But I'm still in fucking work mode, but also not, like, I can't fucking figure out what I need to do.
Yeah.
So I just sit there, like, man, not gonna do shit tonight, huh? You fucking asshole, you stupid piece of shit. And then I'm just like, ugh.
I would love to, like I used to.
And then some nights I stay up until 5 a.m. just click-clacking away.
Right.
Like a madman.
When I was a kid.
And I learned 5 new things.
I would plop a couch in front of the television.
Just plop a couch.
Just plop a couch on down.
He used to just carry a couch around and he'd plop it.
This crazy guy with his couches. But yeah, I would just scootle up a couch in front of the TV.
No, we're using a different verb now.
Just
fucking scootle.
I would just lay there on the couch and watch TV, and then I'd go to sleep. And then I'd wake up right there where I was and just continue watching TV and go to sleep the next day. And I had like a coffee table in front of me, which was like a piano bench or something, and that would just slowly get loaded up with dishes because I just sit there on that same spot on the couch, eating, sleeping, eating, watching, just watch. And then occasionally I just sweep all the dishes off the coffee table and start again. And like, that was how I would spend months and months of my life when I was a teenager. And now I look back at that and I'm like, just fucking read a book. What are you doing? Like, just anything.
Do anything.
But I do, like, I'm like I said, I miss, like, I miss partying a lot, and I miss hanging out with people and just not giving a damn and just goofing off until, like, all hours of the night and whatnot. But now, I'm not gonna do that. Even if I could. Like, nope, I don't want to. That's the misery of it.
Just try to stack money.
Is that when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'm going to be an adult someday, and I'm going to get to fucking just hang out and watch TV just like this all day long and do whatever I want and eat whatever I want. I don't want to. I don't want to eat fucking pizza all the time. I want a salad. It makes me feel bad to eat pizza, and I get real bad tummy cramps. I want to eat a salad and get in the gym. I don't want to do anything else. What sucks is that, like, when I was 18, I could build lean muscle really fast, and I could never work out and still look fucking shredded and never gain a pound of fat, and I could do whatever kind of exercise I wanted whenever I wanted. My body was just ready for it. Now, I have to keep on top of things. And I want to keep on top of things. Yeah. And I don't have the time. And like
time.
It's just it's the damnable misery of the fact that none of
earlier you had as much time.
Right, that's the thing. I have exactly the same amount of time. I have the same 24 hours that I had.
Bullshit.
There's not enough hours in the day.
They changed it. Something's
for everything
wrong with
that I want to
do.
Something's wrong with the hours, guys.
The hours are broken.
There's just not enough time in the day for everything that I want to do.
I know. I feel like as we sit here, grasping at fucking straws for a topic. It seems.
Well, no, we're 20 minutes in. We're talking about a thing.
I think we talked about several things already, and that's scary.
But you know what really sucks about it, though?
But like, no, dude, go ahead.
Nobody could go. Did you say go ahead? Okay.
Go ahead.
I have to stop working to eat and sleep all the time, and that fucking sucks. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. While we're sitting here trying to record the podcast, I'm also like trying to make a list of things I need to do.
Exactly. Dude, as we're talking about this shit.
As we're trying to like be funny and entertaining and record a thing.
When we set this up today, because you and I have been talking about recording this for the past 4 days, like, hey, do you have time? Do you have time for this? And I was like, okay, so today I am absolutely fucking slammed. I've got a million things to read. I've got to write like at least a few pages. But I can squeeze in an hour at any time because I don't have like I have to be working all day, but I don't have any time frame today.
The plan was to squeeze in an hour.
Yeah.
For both of us.
And that's what we're doing now. And while we're talking about it, I'm sitting here rambling about shit, but the fact of the matter is, the second we're done, I'm going to kick you the fuck out, and I'm going to get back to reading this paper on fucking Marxism. Because I've got to write about it. And so, like, that's all I've got to do today, and I have so much work to do. And, like, I don't know, man. I feel like if I could just stop, if I could flip a switch and not have to eat or sleep anymore,
you'd be fine.
I would be happy.
This
you know
goes
what I mean?
back to robot bodies.
Gotta
get them. When can we?
Right, exactly. If I could just pump in my nutrition once a month and just continue on with my life all fucking day, 24/7, cranking out work.
Oh my fucking god! If I could do that, if I didn't have to sleep.
If I didn't have to sleep, I'd be a god.
I'd be unstoppable.
It'd be
amazing.
amazing.
You take away pooping and peeing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just give me the robot body.
Just give me the robot body.
Fuck it.
Just give me the robot body.
Fuck it.
Like, because I would have more. If I could spend those 8 hours that I spend sleeping doing shit that I want to do instead of having to try to squeeze in time. Because there are times where, like, I sleep next to Amber every night and I feel like I haven't seen her in 6 months because I'm working so hard on everything else. You know what I mean? And so, like, if I had that extra 8 hours,
I will say it do be like that.
It do be like that.
That is part of a long-term.
They don't think it be like it is, but it do.
Nobody tells you that you're actually going to spend a lot of time not seeing each other and trusting that you will see each other again.
And this is the prime of our lives. We're supposed to be at the point now where we're supposed to be doing shit.
We are doing shit.
Right, but like fucking I feel like we're like it's crazy because on the one hand, I'm about to turn 30 and I always thought my life ended at this point. I feel like my life is just starting to get some traction now. It's
I've heard
starting
that's
to build
gonna keep happening to us.
I feel like it is. If this is and so I feel like my life is just beginning, but also I feel like by the time that I've really built up to the point where I can enjoy it, I'm gonna be fucking old.
You will be, but as they say,
you got like 80.
It's the whole trip. It's not where you end up. It's the whole journey.
I've got 80 fucking years,
maybe
or so.
Yeah.
The first like 20, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Then, like, the next, like, up to 30, that 10 years, you're, like, kind of starting to figure yourself out.
Yeah, it's basically a decade of, like, wait, I don't want to do this.
And then you got, like, 30 to 40, where you're, like, really starting to, like, make a difference and work on what you're wanting to work on. And then you've got, like, 40 to 50, where, like, you're established and you know what you're doing. And then up to, like, 60, where you really are, like, living. You're, like, really doing it. And then you got, like, 70... where you're like winding down, and then 80.
70 is otherwise known as the Great Decline.
Your body's like really fucked up, and then you die. So like, I'm so happy that these few precious moments are spent with me thinking about 80 different fucking things that I'm supposed to be doing rather than just enjoying this one moment. It's so fucking weird, dude.
It's the reality of the situation. And we fucked up, too, because we're ambitious.
That's the hard thing.
We're stupid. I wish I could just be, like, okay with normal shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to do things like that I like.
Yeah, I fucking work real hard on because the greatest opportunity, the greatest gift that life gives us is the opportunity to work hard at work worth doing. That's, like, one of the only things that Teddy Roosevelt said that I really fucking like. He said a lot of things that I like, but he didn't do a lot of things that I like. You know what I mean?
And that's
the whole
how
thing
you
is
president.
The fucking like that's just it's hard, yo. It's hard to be a human in this world. And we already talked about this earlier also.
They know. Why are you telling them they know?
Our generation is the fucking lowest paid and also the best educated, the hardest working, the fucking most ambitious, fucking craziest, fucking killing it out here, and we get nothing for it.
We're not. I don't know if I'm killing it.
I feel like you are. I feel like you're doing better than you think. And of course,
Yeah, that's the capitalist fucking trick, isn't it?
I took a break. I took a break from working my nut off trying to like get a lot of things going on to go to Taco Bell and get a fucking Baja Blast freeze, not a sponsor. Because I am the master of making good choices.
That's not a bad choice. Well, the Baja Blast is not. I can't justify that. But I'm drinking a Bang.
It's the most tolerable.
I'm drinking a Bang because I worked 11 and a half hours today, and I don't know. I need to be able to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to ingest as much caffeine as possible, and I ate in the car on the way over here, and you know.
Yeah, man, I know. I fucking know.
For shame.
I took literally 10 minutes to cram a taco down my gob before coming back in here and like chopping up a new intro sequence.
That was cool.
Thank you.
I like the things.
So many things going on, dude.
And
What is this episode?
It's just us bitching.
I was gonna say,
we're headed into the holiday season. We're probably getting our seasonal depression going.
I for sure have my seasonal depression going on. It gets really
And here
bad.
comes those icky months where we gotta celebrate and we have to fight over what the fuck it is we're even celebrating.
Right, we have to pretend like we're excited about a bunch of holidays that we don't believe in, and while also it's fucking the sun sets at 3 in the afternoon and rises at 10, and fucking like we get like, ugh. I get really bad seasonal depression. I get like to the point where I don't want to get out of bed because it's just dark anyway.
It sucks. You're gonna have to get out of bed every day.
Every goddamn day.
No matter what.
Ugh. Gotta write a 25-page paper on niche construction theory. That's what we were talking about at the beginning, before the microphone happened.
What does that even mean?
Niche construction theory?
No, we just don't have. Fuck that. We don't have time.
We don't.
We also just. We don't. That's what this episode is about. It's about time.
We've been talking for almost a half an hour about just how busy we are. This episode is Forrest and Ben, bitch. that's this episode.
We have
Turn this shit off.
We have topic lists we can pull from at any given second. It's okay.
What I think is
We're
important.
just both exhausted.
What I think is salient is that we're not unique. You know what I mean?
Everyone is exhausted.
Everyone's exhausted.
Now it's a podcast topic.
Yeah.
Everyone
Everyone's
is
fucking
exhausted.
If you're exhausted, smash that like button.
Subscribe. We're getting good at this, man.
Yeah, dude.
We're hitting all the things.
Like, comment, and subscribe. If you, what did Bo Burnham say? You don't want to be dead. You just don't want to be alive anymore. Like, just don't necessarily want to die. You're just really, really sick of fucking life.
We'll take a break.
Just
Let's
take a
take a break.
Just take a little break.
Take a break. But I can't take a break because I work in retail and I'm going into what's known as the time to be there.
Fucking, what got me? I was listening to somebody on
I'm gonna
TikTok.
be working every day again.
And they were like, you have to remember that humans didn't fucking evolve for this. We evolved to fucking forage for berries and fuck in the wilderness and just live naked outside. That's what we evolved for. And like, here we are, and that's arguable that there's a little bit less. But like, still, like the whole thing, man, just, we fucking rose up on the savannah 200,000 years ago, spread out from fucking Africa all across the world, and in the blink of an eye, evolutionarily, we now fucking work in these little boxes and towers and fucking spend our whole lives and fucking little doing one little thing to make some other guy a little money, and then we go home, we die. If we're lucky, we die comfortably. If we work really, really hard, we get to die comfortably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. If we work really hard and we get really lucky, we might get a nice box to be buried in.
What a beautiful
Nice
episode.
little clipping in the paper.
Yeah, well, they gotta put it so everyone knows if they outlived you or not, I guess. I don't know what the fuck the point is of telling everybody that somebody died. I think it's supposed to be like so that they're not forgotten. Is like it's all symbolism.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, nothing is remembered.
Nothing. Nothing. If I'm really, really, really lucky, I've got like maybe 3 or 4 generations before my name's nothing. I just want to build something that lasts longer than me. You know what I mean?
Very important. That's why you have to make a successful podcast. Or two.
It's just like, and that's the thing is that like if there that is another thing that's interesting to think about is, as far as memory is concerned, as far as legacy is concerned, is this podcast actually a good representation of us? Because on the one hand, we don't script this, we don't prepare for this. We're just rambling off top of our heads.
Yeah, like the most we do for this show is sometimes we have a short conversation beforehand. We do have a running topic list and a shared notes file, but
And
that's
we use it
literally
very rarely.
yeah, that's literally just so we won't forget if we think of something when we're not together.
But like, there's been a million things that we say, and we're like, "Oh, I wish we would have recorded that." And there's been a million times we sit down and record, and we're like, "What the fuck are we gonna talk about, man?" But like this is just us rambling. This is just a conversation between friends. There's no script. There's no planning. If we prepared shit to talk about and had like access to like, it would be way, way more interesting. But we don't do that because we just wanted to chat. And like,
that's
so
a different show.
This isn't a great representation of our actual opinions and everything. But also, it's a perfect representation of who we are because it's us on the fly. So is it a good memory legacy? Is it? Maybe. I don't know. It just is. Everything just is.
Can you imagine like who gets our ad revenue when we're like fucking we've been dead for 150 years?
Nobody. Fuck it, I'll make sure nobody gets it. I'll make sure it goes in a fucking bank account to rot and just accrue interest. And it's the
not
only
gonna
one.
matter. By
I'll
the
go
way.
to the grave knowing the PIN code to that fucking bank account.
You actually won't. You actually provably will not.
Yeah.
You will have forgotten that code the second I pull the trigger.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Setting Forrest's whole assassination story up.
If I don't get assassinated, I'll be offended. You know what I mean?
I hope you die mad.
Thanks,
because you didn't get assassinated.
Aw.
Yes, stupid.
That's sweet.
I don't think anybody will do it. I think you're going to do enough cool stuff. People will like you. But they won't like you so much that they want to kill you.
The more cool things that you do that people like, the more people want to murder you. People wanted to actually kill Barack Obama because he wanted to give us free health care.
Yeah, but those people grew up in the 70s, Forrest, and they had lead in the gas.
And the paint. And the soda cans. And
the
probably
toys.
the pipes. And the toys.
And everything.
Yeah.
Their lead-addled minds cannot function.
And lead poisoning causes paranoia, doesn't it? And all sorts of other things. And increased amygdala activity.
Lead poisoning will make you batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Lead poisoning, here's what lead poisoning causes, Forrest. It causes people in their fucking 60s and 70s to yell at a cashier for 45 minutes until they have a fucking heart attack. And then they go to the hospital and I gotta pay for that.
Yeah.
I gotta pay for that, and I don't even mind paying for that. I think it's good to have a society where we pay for that, because if I ever have a heart attack because I'm screaming at a cashier for 45 minutes, I hope that they can bring me to a hospital. But you know what? It'd be nice if some of these people could thank me every now and then.
Right.
How about just a thank you for your service? You know? Why don't we just thank the taxpayers? I just think that we need to test people for, like, lead poisoning.
I don't even know if there is a test at this, like when it's out of your system for so long.
I think the test is like you go around to different stores and the people yelling and they're red, their faces are red, and they're yelling at cashiers. They have lead poisoning.
You have someone with blue hair make really good points about the economy and see what happens.
See who reacts funny.
If they lose their shit, yeah, that's lead poisoning. That's the test.
Man.
We should dye our hair colors.
I can't.
Why?
I work in retail.
Oh, yeah. We should do a charity thing where if we raise a certain amount of money, we dye our hair colors. Because that way you would be able to, because it was for charity.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that way I would be able to, but no, I wouldn't.
If anybody, you're in retail and they're like, I don't want to buy it from a blablabla, and you're like, I
People
raised
don't say that anymore.
$8,000 for cancer. No, they're not. We live in Oklahoma. Nobody's polite. Yes, they are. They're incredibly polite while they're fucking shitty. They're shitty polite.
Yeah. They just go away and think about how much they hate you.
Oklahoma is a place where anybody would stop to help you change your tire, and anybody would stab you over a chicken sandwich. That's where we live. It's a nightmare here.
God damn it.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't have any proof of that.
It's accurate.
I still don't want to really like leave that much right now, but eventually I'd like to get the fuck out of here.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I still want to do an episode where we just talk shit on weed.
We can talk shit on weed right now. We have 20 minutes.
I don't feel like we're flowing into it. I think we're flowing into like more another episode about depression.
Really, I think when you go back and watch this show, every episode's about depression. When you really pay attention. Like every episode is about how hard life is. Hey, if you're listening to this and you need to talk to somebody, try to find a way to do that. Because life's hard. And nobody should have to go through it alone.
What the fuck is that?
I just mean to say, don't get on yourself and don't feel bad about yourself.
Just remember, if you're all by yourself, you better find somebody soon.
I'm saying if you need to talk to someone, do it. Don't fucking get on to yourself and be like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that, and that's not for me, and blah, blah, blah.
Or are you talking about don't be ashamed to ask for help?
Yeah, prioritize your mental health is what I'm saying.
Well, no, yeah, everyone should do that, but how the fuck do they do that? How do they do it in the world that we live in? You have to. This sucks because I'm going to say a bunch of contradictory shit if we talk about this, because you have to. You absolutely have to prioritize your mental health. Yeah. I myself am losing my mind and continuing to work as much as possible and try to push forward through insanity.
Just it's important that people remember that. I think we said this last time, that you can do both. You can be improving and also be happy about your improvements. You know what I mean? Like, you can be like, you don't always have to be like, well, I'm not perfectly happy yet. I'm not completely devoid of any anxiety yet. I'm not blah, blah, blah. So therefore, I'm completely fucked up. Like, you can be happy about progress and still have progress to make.
Yeah, of course.
And be proud.
And I think that's wonderful. I just, I'm a lot harder on myself than I would be on any other single human being.
Everybody is. And that's an also important thing to remember, is that you're a real asshole to yourself.
Yeah, but I know what's in my mind.
If anybody else talked to you the way that you talk to yourself, you'd fucking never speak to that person again. But like you like you said, you know what's in your mind, so you feel like you have all the secret knowledge, all the special exceptions as to why all these nice things don't actually apply to you, because you're actually a bigger piece of shit than anybody realizes.
I'm a horrible garbage human being.
So am I. So are we all, as far as we think. Just be nice to you today. Whoever's listening to this, take some time to be nice to you. Because if anybody needs to be nice to you, it's you, you know?
I met, like, a hippie isolationist lady at work. Who they don't use smartphones.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And they don't use social media and stuff, which is fine. And the universe is guiding her, which is fine. But she also won't buy products from China.
Neat.
So I was like, that's weird.
No,
and then she asked me, she said some stuff to me, and I don't know, and I basically told her, she was like, we need to do this, this, and this, and I was like, well, the only way for that to ever happen is, I agree with some of what you're saying, but that's not going to change until we take our foot off the gas pedal as a global society.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I have to go to work every day and make a buck.
Yeah.
Is basically what I told her, and she thought I was nice and polite, and she thought it was cool to talk to me, but
well, that is the thing, is that like
I just think her logic is insane.
When you talk about social change, political change, whatever, like a big thing is nice. When we talked about revolutions on one episode, we talked about this briefly. I don't think we got into much into it. Is that like having to keep alive is a great suppressant to political change. Is that the fact, like, if I didn't need food on my table, if I really wasn't seriously worried every day about making sure that I had, my bills paid and had food and all those things, if I didn't have to work every single day most of my life to make sure those things were happening, I would literally eat Jeff Bezos. I would go find him and actually devour him. And like that, the reason why I don't have the free time to do that is because I'm genuinely worried about feeding my family. And I've got to take care of that first. And I haven't had the free time to do anything else at this point. You know what I mean? So like that's the thing. Is that like...
Yeah, but if everybody's doing okay enough, they don't notice the billionaires. That's what it used to be like.
Yeah. They don't notice all the shit because everybody's alright.
If you can fucking actually pull the fucking real trick off where you actually lift all boats with the rising tide instead of just the rich guy's yacht. But that's not what we have. Like, we're fucking stranded on the shore.
Yeah.
We're drowning in the water. Like, if everybody could basically be okay,
yeah,
there wouldn't even be that much unrest.
And that's...
If you didn't have the fucking racial tensions and the fucking starvation wages and if you didn't have all the bullshit, people wouldn't even be clamoring for a revolution. Anybody who wanted to go eat Jeff Bezos would seem like a fucking insane person.
Right.
Because it'd be like, yeah, he's got way too much money, but like everyone is eating and has a house and
right.
can play Xbox and... What's the real problem? Everybody's getting a good education. Everybody truly has a chance to grow up and become someone that rich, right? If the system's not rigged the way it is. But it is. But, like, that's the thing, is, like, if it's not... If the system worked the way it was described to work, people wouldn't even want to eat rich people.
Yeah.
But because it's so bad... I try to tell rich people this for their own good, and they don't listen to me, man. I try to tell middle class people this because they don't understand that poor people think middle class people are rich.
Right.
So whenever when the dumb people get swept up in the craziness, they're gonna come fucking hurt just a bunch of other dumb people.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be a bunch of dumb people hurting each other. That's why the idea of a revolution to me is like, I don't think you... It's not that you can't have a revolution, and it's not that you can't accomplish your goals, and I don't even want to say that you can't accomplish your goals peacefully. There's just, like, I don't know how you actually control that amount of people. Once something gets big enough to influence change that much, like, it's kind of its own thing.
And now we're back around to turning the podcast into a cult. So we can influence that amount of people and exact social change. I'm not comfortable with this. I want, like, livable wages.
Fuck.
And housing. And food. And universal basic income. And, like, to take care of veterans.
But what
and
about all the shitty people?
What about them?
That they deserve basic income?
Yes! That's the whole point.
I know you're technically right, but fuck these people, man.
In all fairness, fuck those people. But also... We gotta take care of everybody. That's one thing. Like when I debate with conservatives, especially, like we talk about crime, talk about justice, talk about benefits, talk about punishment, talk about all these things, and the argument always turns like, well, what about like a pedophile or stuff? You're telling me that person has the right to like fairness and equality and voting and dignity and blah blah blah? And I'm like, yeah. Just like you can't just say, hey, here's this shitty person. They don't deserve to be treated like a human, because then you can do that to anybody. The point is that everybody gets treated like a human. Yeah, the serial killer and the pedophile and the rapists and all these horrible evil people that I think should fucking, like, I would beat them to death if I could. I also know that the more tempted I am to dehumanize these people and to hurt them, the more important it is for me to resist that temptation. Otherwise, I too become a monster. That's how it's supposed to work. You fucking narc.
Narc.
Yeah, those people are all narcs. Fucking bootlickers like that.
What about
they're
fuck
all like,
them,
we
though?
need the...
What about fuck him, though? What about fuck that guy? Why do I give a shit?
What about fuck who? What?
The rapist, man.
Oh. Yeah, no. We gotta do society. We gotta do society.
We gotta do society. We gotta do
society, yo. That's important.
Ugh.
All
That's
these...
a fucking mess.
fucking people who fly a fucking thin blue line flag and a don't tread on me flag next to each other.
It's complicated imagery.
Fucking people whose favorite ice cream flavor is boot. I can't deal.
You're on one, man.
What?
You're on one.
What am I on?
One.
A deal? A tangent?
A tangent.
The fact that I'm exhausted and I'm bitching about fucking fascists?
We're both very sleepy. So what would you do if you had a day off?
Probably rest.
Yeah.
Are you talking like ideally, like if I had enough days off and then like this is just one day where I can do whatever I want? Or are you talking about like right now, if tomorrow I knew nothing was going to die if I went to bed, what would I do?
What if you just got like 3 days off right now, just free and clear, and it was a pause? It's a pause. And you get 3 days off to do whatever you want, but when you come back, you just get to start where you left it right now when you paused it.
I'd work really hard for those 3 days. I'd study and I'd get a bunch of writing and recording and editing done. So that way when the time came back, I would be further ahead on my goals that are also always happening.
Yeah, same. Are we making ourselves depressed?
No.
Do you think? No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's unhealthy, like the amount of pressure that we've put on ourselves? And I'm not even saying just like, because it's individual pressure and then also combined pressure. And then I think more individual pressure on top of that. And then just also you have to maintain school, relationships, work, normal life. You have to remember to put gas into cars.
Relationships is an important one as well, because seriously, I mentioned that I had replaced all the outlets in my like half the house. That took several hours of just sitting there, just cutting out old wiring, splicing in new outlets, just working and working and working. The whole time I was just thinking about like all the people that I wish I could talk to, but I don't have fucking time. I was like, oh man, I should really call John sometime. When am I ever going to do that? I wish I could hang out with Shiznit and fucking Sam sometime. When am I going to do that?
When the fuck?
Oh man, I really, I miss my buddies down there. When the fuck am I going to talk to them?
When am I going to
hang out with them? It's just...
Yeah, I need to apologize to this person.
Yeah, Titus and Rihanna. I was gonna buy them some chicken legs and drop them off as like a gift. I know they love barbecuing and it's kind of getting cold. When am I gonna do that? When am I gonna see them? When am I gonna do fucking anything? Because I'm busy as dick all day long. Adult shit, man.
It is terrifying that I'm gonna run out of time.
Not good at this adult shit.
Not good at this adult shit.
Every day when I wake up, I eat a bag of sour worms. Every day when I wake up, I eat a bag of sour worms.
That's why he's dead.
Go look up Trevor Moore, I'm not good at this adult shit, and enjoy that video.
And that's the episode that we just did. That song could
this
just
whole
be this episode.
This has been 50 minutes of us plugging Trevor Moore in a really roundabout way.
I just wanted to make
May
a
the
good
Dark
show.
Lord rest his soul.
I don't know if we did that.
You know, on the one hand, for sure we did not make a good episode this week. On the other hand, maybe it's good for some people to just hear us having human problems and they can relate to that and be like, you know what? It feels good to know that I'm not the only one struggling and that everybody's going through some shit and there's a little bit of camaraderie there.
Yeah,
and
we're pretty
also,
miserable.
maybe after like the first 30 minutes of us just nonstop bitching, half the audience turned off the episode, which was a good choice. You know? Good on them.
I feel like you could say that about
if you stayed the whole time,
all 28 something episodes. This is 27.
You're an I'm not comfortable with this fanatic. And we love you, and we're happy that you're here.
I actually do.
We hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
We hope you take care of yourself. We hope you take some time to meditate today. Just let your brain relax a little bit. You don't have to work hard at it. That's the whole point. Just let your brain do nothing for a few seconds and just hit the reset button on that cycle of endless rumination where you dig around with all the problems you have. Just let it stop for a second.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's
terrifying.
terrifying.
Just calming down.
He's all like, wrestle with your
unwinding.
demons, boys.
No. Just let the demons go fuck off for like 5 solid seconds, and you just be you for a minute.
Let's end on a light topic.
Have a cup of tea.
Let's end on a light topic. We have a couple minutes, right?
We have plenty. We have all the time we want.
We have a couple minutes.
We have new editing software, which means we can go over an hour if we want to.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
the,
so it
the
doesn't
old
even
editing
matter.
software, if you ever wonder why the edits were so weird in some of the old episodes, it's because every time we saved the episode, we lost like 10 seconds of whatever's at the end. And then every time we exported the episode, we lost another like 10 seconds. And then every time we put it through the software, it would cut the audio like a random amount of time between 10 and 30 seconds before the actual ending cut was. So we had to just like kind of put like add on extra audio where we didn't want it, and then the music would kick in at the end of the actual audio, not where it did the random cut. So we had to put that somewhere too. It was a whole process, man. But now we have like
upgraded
big boy real time
So,
good sauce
it's
editing
better.
software.
So we're gonna reach back now. I love on the topic list. If you scroll down, the topics get much more professional as they rise in number.
Yeah.
Like the first one is literally just 2 words. So our first topic we ever wrote on the list was just aging/death, and I think we cover that every time we talk.
We cover that a lot.
Yeah,
Increasingly. So
Now-
we did. I believe we did have
One
one
of
and
it-
one half episodes specifically about that.
we did. We did. That's why it's got a little check.
Yeah,
Little check mark.
look at that.
I think we need to revamp the check system and put checks and then balances. But there's also one thing I think is really I think we could cover really shortly, and it will add some life to this.
Yeah.
So if anybody made it to the end, maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of this. And it also makes me uncomfortable because I don't even know how I fucking feel about it. Number 4, we got this bringing fetishes out in public,
Puppy play, BDSM collars and such.
etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you put that one.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and I feel like we said it and you put it down and then we never elaborated on what we were trying to actually talk about.
I was trying to talk about like when people like.
Well, before we get into that,
Yeah.
I work at the mall and there's been more than one occasion where a young couple has come in and the young lady is wearing a leash and the young man is pulling her around the store with the collar, and they seem fine.
Right.
Everybody seems to be consenting, and she's walking on both legs. It's not like crawling around and like begging for treats or anything.
Right.
And she's like allowed to talk, but it's still like when they first walk in, it's like what's happening?
Right.
Is it a cosplay? Is this like is it a kink?
Well, that's the thing is that at that point it's pretty obviously it's a fetish thing.
Yeah,
And like that's the thing.
I don't really give a shit. I don't judge them for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously doing fine.
I'm torn
They're allowed to
because
shop at the mall.
on the one hand, me personally, I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want to do. As long as you are not like actively fucking in front of me, at which point I still really don't care.
But it is
like
public, and there's like it is kind. I mean, it's a fetish. It's a kink.
that's what I'm saying. Is
It is technically for the bedroom.
It has my. If you ask me
or
personally,
the house.
It would be, it is extremely difficult to really actually bother me, so I really don't care. My biggest concern is that there are like young children about, and they're gonna ask like, why
It's
is
a
that
tough
lady
question,
dressed
yeah.
up like a dog being tried to, and the mom then has to go,
And-
she's playing.
Yeah,
whatever.
do I then say it's just a cosplay thing?
Yeah, they're just
You
that's
know
how they
those
like
weebs.
to live. Because at the end of the day, if it were
No,
anything
but,
else, if it was the way they were dressed, if it was the color of their hair, if it was whatever else they wanted to do, I would just say that's just how they want to live. That's what they want to do. Who cares? They're doing their own thing. But because it is a fetish thing, because it is sexual in nature, then it becomes an issue of like, okay, so do I lie to this kid or do I tell this kid some shit that they're not ready to hear?
And we sound kind of old because a lot of people are saying that you should like normalize, not normalize, but they're saying like, how do you say it?
I'm down to normalize any lifestyle. I just don't think that it's reasonable to bring like deliberately overtly sexual things out around children. That's the whole thing. Because I do think that you
It's
should have.
not.
I think
I agree with
that
that.
I think that sex ed should be very open and comprehensive. I think that you should be able to have conversations about sex. I don't think that sex should be treated as puritanically as it is. I feel like we should be very open and very blunt and very honest about it. I feel like it is something that should be talked about publicly and openly and whatever. There's also a line between that and actually just showing like pornography.
Yeah, but we're talking. So
it's
the interesting point, because we're talking about the mall, like, right? This is where this happened at. You're saying there are children about, which 100% agree with you. There's always some kids in the mall.
Yeah.
With or without parents, there's always some kids in the mall.
Yeah.
There's also stores in the mall where kids are allowed to enter completely free of adults that sell like sex toys.
Yeah. There's a Victoria's Secret, which has huge facing out into the aisles, just pictures of women in lingerie. And that is overtly sexual imagery.
It's all over the place.
Of photoshopped women, and these kids are seeing that. So, like, is it any different, really? And that's the thing, is that, like, there's this issue of... And it really, oftentimes... I want to point this out, because very often the language goes towards women's bodies.
Yes.
We talk about Victoria's Secret, for example. You know, there isn't a male equivalent of that I know of. There probably is.
There
in other
is,
malls.
yeah, no, for
Like,
sure.
I'm sure it's like a Calvin Klein store with
Yeah.
a picture of a guy in a banana hammock, like real big.
Yeah. And he's usually in black and white. I don't know why. Usually,
They're always in black and white when it's
usually
dudes.
pictures of men. Yeah, they're in black and white because
Yeah.
I think it makes them look more mysterious.
Maybe.
And then, like, he's a detective with his shirt off though, and he's wearing his weird
yeah.
shorts, and he's got good abs.
Real good abs.
You know.
Pecs
some
like a
good
fucking
abs.
brick shit
He's
house.
not ripped, but you want to be held by him.
Exactly. Yeah, you
But
feel
you know he
feel
won't
safe.
hold you tomorrow.
Right.
Anyway.
And you feel like his dick could actually literally split you in half. You can see it through the shorts. They're just it's
Oh my.
It's insane. It's massive. So yeah, and that's there for kids to see. So like when we talk about bodies in general, you know, the problem is what to do with them.
Right.
We can wrap women in burqas and men can go around wearing like whole robes and shit, and we can cover everyone in cloth bags, or we can have Victoria's Secret and Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger and what's the not Tommy Hilfiger, American Eagle, Apostle, Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
I don't know
American
what
Eagle.
brands are, but like the ones with these fucking douchebags with all sorts of abs and cowboy hats, and they're like they have 18 packs and shit. Like all that is the pretty much
They're
other
not trucks,
extreme,
bro.
and we're like maybe there's a middle ground here. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with kinks and fetishes. We can be super duper puritanical where we never talk about sex at all, to the point where we have to. That's where we get the terms. Oh shit! I just hit the microphone. That's where we get the
Piece of
terms
shit.
light meat and dark meat for chicken, because people didn't want to say breasts and thighs.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So like that, we can go that crazy extreme, or we can go the other crazy extreme where we're like, hey, everybody just walk around, look at my sack all day long, and like that's also not good. There's surely an extreme or a middle ground. There's surely some sort of place in that fuzzy gradient that makes sense, and I don't think we've hit it.
What's interesting to me about kinks too is like, and this is a complete lack of understanding to begin with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I know I got some. I'm like discovering.
Oh, for sure.
But like, I think a lot of kinks, even though they're totally fine, they might stem from trauma.
Might.
Because I think also some people just like a certain thing.
Yeah.
But I also think a lot of kinks can stem from trauma, and I wonder, should we
reading,
worry about that at all, or is it fine?
I remember reading, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but
I'd like to think that my things don't stem from trauma, but I also know I have trauma.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is true or not, but I do remember reading a long time ago that men, heterosexual men who are raised very poor with like food insecurity statistically tend to be attracted to like bustier women, and it might be like some psychological almost
Makes sense. She got food.
yeah, it's like
She got food.
almost Oedipus complex kind of thing where
Mommy.
it's like I see big boobs.
Yeah,
and therefore
yeah, I
big
need
boobs.
mommy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's that TikTok thing. Mommy, sorry. But like, yeah, that's I don't know if that's true or not. I just remember reading it a while ago. It might be bad pseudopsych, but like, it does make sense to assume that like these traumas early childhood things can lead to like
Well, yeah.
sexual fulfillment later on.
It makes sense, and that's not.
I wonder
That
if there-
doesn't mean it's like bad or wrong at all.
There's surely some research about that.
There has to be.
There's actually a lot of books on this that I want to read badly. There's one on human sexual behavior that's really evolution based that I'm wanting to read. There's one about, I don't know. I just don't have time. I don't have time. We're back to
because the whole
bitching.
thing with it is ultimately, as long as you're not hurting anybody and it feels good to you, then it's fine.
That's
Like,
we
ultimately-
talk about bringing kinks out in public. I don't ever want to kink shame anybody. If it's between one or more consenting adults, I do not give a damn.
And that's the thing with like, yeah, it's like, well, and that does like, I like the comparison you drew earlier, kind of, and I'm gonna loosely draw on that same comparison, which is like if I see two people just fucking naked going at it in the middle of a park.
Have fun.
I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
like I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna be mad.
I'm not. But
I'm gonna be like, that's not where you do that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. It's just there's just a time and a place.
If it was, if it just comes down to me, I give zero shits about anything. Wash your hands. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? Don't be fucking and then making my food. That's my big deal. But like, if it's just what I'm exposed to, I'm offended every day. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like when I say offended, like there's shit out there that's viscerally offensive, but I'm not ever like mad. Just who cares? Very, very easygoing guy. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
God damn, you sound repressed.
It's not even jaded. It's just
Jaded.
like I really genuinely. I don't want to say I don't care. It's not apathy. I'm just not bothered. I'm happy that you're happy. Do what you're doing. That works for you. Radical.
You're growing up, man.
I'm also really like, I'm a very curious person and I want to like see weird shit. Like if there's a bunch of people like running, screaming out of an alley, I'm going in that alley. I want to see what's going on in there. That sounds interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it sounds
I want to see
interesting.
weird shit. That's my hallmark of a good time.
That's because usually my reaction to something weird is to run away screaming.
No, I'm running towards the weird. I embrace the weird.
Yeah, what I'm saying is if people are running away screaming, maybe you should ask one of them what they saw first.
Maybe. Well, but I'm interested. You know what I
What
mean?
I'm saying is I like your
It's not a
philosophy.
deal
I just
breaker.
think it's okay to ask somebody who's already been there what they saw before you visit.
If there's like a whole situation where it's like fucking don't go in there, dude, that's fucking a bunch of very, very large, hairy people wrestling a donkey, I'm going in. I want to see that shit. That sounds weird as fuck.
Yeah,
Let's
that
do it.
sounds interesting though. What if they're like, don't go in there? It's fucking, it's COVID.
Well, then yeah, if it's clear and present danger,
it's
then
just
yeah.
like a
but
big COVID in there.
I want to see weird things more and more. I want to do weird things. Do you enjoy trying new things and experiencing new things? It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah,
meeting
man,
new
we
people.
should make a podcast about that.
All right, if we ever get the video podcast,
We will.
I'm putting you on the spot right now because we're putting this in there. This may be the end of the episode. Do you know what Beirut is?
No, I'm not doing Beirut.
Would you eat one?
No.
On a video podcast?
No.
With me?
No.
You and me?
No.
Video podcast?
No, every time I've seen you cook it, you fuck it up.
I've only cooked it once, and I did fuck it up. And then because I
Every
didn't cook
time I've seen it, then it's been
so
fucked
it's 100.
up.
Well, it was only once. I bought it from an Asian market. I didn't know it was raw, and I sipped on a raw duck fetus. Oopsie poopsie, I drank some whiskey to kill the bacteria. All I'm saying is we could try it and do it better and boil them this time and eat it on a podcast. Together, you and me, live without fear, eat a goddamn duck fetus with me, Ben.
Do you eat the whole duck fetus?
You eat the whole duck fetus. You only don't eat the shell. And then you can do whatever you want for the rest of your life because you've already done that. And when you think about it, it's really not that weird. It's no weirder than anything else.
It's no weirder than walking your girlfriend around the mall with a dog leash.
It's no weirder. You know what my favorite piece of cow is?
Except for I don't have to taste that.
You know what my favorite piece of beef is? Legitimately.
Taste that. Except for when they get too close.
You know, my favorite piece of meat is cow tongue.
No, it's gross.
It is so good.
No, I had cow. This motherfucker.
Because when you
Blood
think about
sausage.
it, it's really not that. Blood and tongue's great too.
No, blood and tongue is not great. Listen to the fucking words you're using to. It's called
coagulated
blood
blood and sliced tongue compressed into a sausage, and it's good. When I was a kid, I used to eat head cheese. Head cheese was my favorite. I used to eat head cheese for breakfast.
Yeah, tell us more about how white you are.
My grandma had a
I used to eat head cheese for breakfast.
My grandma always had a block of press wurst, which is head cheese, in the fridge. If you don't know what head cheese is, it's all the face meat and then just fat, and it's this jiggling clear brick of
the face meat of what? They don't even know.
Of a cow, I believe.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah,
it's not pork.
It might be pork. I don't remember. I haven't had it in a long time. But
that's because it's disgusting, and
it's
they're trying
good.
to outlaw that
and
shit.
all it is this jiggling. It looks like yellow Jello, not really yellow, like off-white, like something's wrong with it. Yellow, not like lemon yellow.
It doesn't look like food,
and it's all the actually is it's actual natural gelatin. It's the collagen and bone and shit. And it's natural gelatin with like hunks of meat from the face of the animal or the head of it, and it's called head cheese. And I used to cube it up, and I got little cubes, and you pour apple cider vinegar on it, and you eat it like not like swimming in it, just you pour a little bit like salad dressing, and you just eat face meat and fat gel and vinegar. And that was my goddamn breakfast when I was a kid for years. And it's good.
It's not.
It's not any weirder than anything else.
It's not. You know what's not weird for breakfast, Forrest?
Blood and tongue,
Oatmeal.
Which was another one that I had.
Oatmeal.
You get some rye bread.
For breakfast?
You smear some butter on the rye bread and you put sliced blood sausage on it. That was something I ate all the time when I was young. It's good.
And so these breakfast nightmares begin to paint a picture of the subject.
I had a horrible childhood.
You had a cultured childhood. There's a difference.
Yeah, well, I guess cultured in terms of just not
how horrible,
not American culture at all. Also, was horrible.
Oh, it was white culture.
You ever had pickled herring?
Actually, yeah, but I hate herring. I hate pickled herring.
It's good.
I hate anchovies.
I always have a jar of pickled
caviar.
herring in the fridge because my dad made me love pickled herring when I was a kid because we ate it all the time.
Yeah.
Go to the store and buy it. Comes in a big blue. It's a clear jar with a blue lid, like
you know
Vita
that
brand.
section you never fucking go to.
It's in the fridge
it's
section.
down there.
Pickled herring. Get it in wine sauce. Don't get it in like the cream sauce. Get
He's
it
not wrong.
pickled herring and wine sauce.
You don't want cream and fish.
It's great.
Fish cream.
It's kind of sweet.
You take some of it, you rub it on your face.
It's got onions in it.
Rub it on your face. Now what have you got? A horrific rash. Gross foods, man. Those are it's this motherfucker.
We're doing a Beirut.
I'm not doing a Beirut.
This is it. Get us to 1,000 subs.
No, that's
and
not
we
enough.
Will eat Beirut.
I'll do Beirut at 20. No. If we get to 10. If we get
10,000 subs, you'll do a Beirut
If
with
we
me?
get to 10 and you haven't already conned me into it, then I'll do it. If we get to 10 and you've already conned me into it, then I'll consider having 2 cubes of head cheese with the whatever vinegar.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Subscribe and get Ben to eat delicious foods from my childhood. And we'll have a camera by then. I'm getting a camera on Tuesday. I've already got it ordered. It'll be here by Tuesday.
That's
and then,
wonderful.
So this episode of Reacteria coming out will still be the same.
That's so many
quality,
more
but
subscribers, though. There's no way.
10,000 subscribers is what you're saying.
Yeah, 10 times what we need.
I'm into it, yo. 10,000 subscribers. This has been a phenomenal episode.
Fuck
we
you.
started off bitching for a long time. It was the worst episode, and now I'm excited about it at the end.
If we get 10,000 subscribers,
10,000 subscribers, and we're going to eat shit. We're going to eat Beirut and head cheese and
then
blood
we'll
sausage.
We'll eat it. No blood sausage, man. That shit makes me... I'll consider it.
It's going in the special. It's going in the special. What if we did a live stream? What if we did a live stream on TikTok and we ate these things to encourage people to go subscribe?
I hate you so much.
What if we did a live podcast?
No.
What if we recorded the podcast and
we'll
live
talk about
streamed
it, but not on this fucking shit right now.
I'm getting stoked to death about all of it.
I hate this show.
If you're still listening, you're a true fan, and you...
honestly, if you made it to the end, you got the actual episode.
You make my heart go doki doki, bro. Sign up now for your chance to watch that shit by hitting the subscribe button.
And I'm Ben.
And I'm Forrest. And this has been I'm Not Comfortable With This, the podcast
show
that continues to exceed expectations about how bad a podcast can truly get. Tell us in the comments what you want to watch us eat on this 10,000 subscriber special that is very far away. And don't forget to remind us when we get there, because I
put some things in the comments.
Promise you I will forget if you don't tell me.
Yeah, we will. And also,
I'm very tired.
We're exhausted. Have a wonderful life.
Have a great rest of your day.
And if you are going through hard times, so are we.
Yeah. Camaraderie and shit.
So keep going.
It
fucking sucks, but keep going, because like eventually life is peaks and valleys, and eventually you'll be back on top again, and it just takes time. And I don't care what you're going through, you gotta keep trying.
Remember the story of the farmer with the varying luck. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Let's end on a story about a farmer.
Tell
me the tale.
This farmer,
regale me with your tale.
His like herd of whatever runs away, and the neighbor's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, that's terrible." And the farmer's like, "Don't worry about it, because you don't know what's going to happen next." And so his son goes out to get the herd and like comes back with even more, because like they found other flocks of whatever the fuck they are, and the neighbor's like, "You have such great luck." And he's like, "Don't be excited, because you don't know what's going to happen next." And then sure enough, as the son's like wrangling the new herd, it's so big that like his horse throws him and he breaks his arm. And the neighbor's like, "That's terrible luck, I'm so sorry." And he's like, "Don't fucking worry about it, you don't know what's going to happen next." And then because the son's arm is broken, he doesn't get drafted into the army, and like, because there's this war, and the neighbor's like, "What's great luck?" And he's like, "Don't fucking congratulate me, because you don't know what's going to happen next." And the story goes on and on and on, but the whole point,
jinxing this poor farmer.
The whole point is that
he's like, "Stop!"
Everything's good and everything's bad and nothing matters, and like, you triumph and disaster are both imposters, and you got to just live. That's the whole story. That's
kind of a beautiful tale.
Yeah.
It's very important.
It's all about temperance and avoiding emotional extremes.
Yeah, try to stay in the middle as much as you can.
It doesn't mean you don't have emotions. It just means you don't let your emotions run away with you.
Yeah, you got to control your emotions.
Never be too happy or too sad about anything, because everything's just chance.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault. That's the moral of the story. It's not your fault.
It is.
That's the ending now. It's over. And I'm Forrest.
You took my line.
And that's Ben.
The show where they're not comfortable with it.
The show where you